First question. Consider the following. Yama means practicing self control. Niyama means observation of the rules governing one's life. Pratyahara means withdrawal of senses. Dharana means fixing the mind. Dhyana means concentration on the chosen object. Samadhi, it is the merging of the mind and the object that leads to the final dissolution of the self. Second question. Who among the following wrote commentaries on Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita? Answer Shankaracharya. Third question. Which of the following are the elements of Dravya? Options soil, air, water, fire, ether. Answer is air, water, fire, and ether. Fourth question. Which school is responsible for beginning of physics in India? Answer is Visheshika School. Visheshika School are considered to be the proponents of the mechanical process of formation of the universe. Fifth question. With reference to the orthodox school of philosophy, consider the following statement. Vedas were the supreme revealed scriptures that holds the secrets to salvation. They did not question the authenticity of the Vedas. Thus, they had six sub schools that were called the Shada Dharshana. Sixth question. Samyaka School of Philosophy was founded by Kapila Muni. Patanjali founded Yoga School. Gautama founded Nyaya School. Kapila Muni founded Shamakya School. Kannada founded Visheshika School. Seventh question. Presence of step tank is an important feature of which of the following school of architecture? Answer is Solanki School. Unique feature of this school is the presence of step tank known as Surya Kunda in the proximity of the temple. Eighth question. With reference to Gandhara School of Art, consider the following statement. It was patronized by Kushana rulers. The Buddha is shown in a spiritual state with wavy hair. He wears fewer ornaments and seated in the position of a yogi. The eyes are half closed as in meditation. While in Amaravati School of Art, since the sculptures are generally part of a narrative art, there is a less emphasis on the individual feature of Buddha. Question number 9. Which of the following mudra signifies the teaching phase of preaching in Buddhism? Answer is Vitarka Mudra. Dhyana Mudra signifies attainment of spiritual perfection. Abhaya Mudra symbolizes strength and inner security. It is a gesture which instills a sense of fearlessness to others as well. Dharmachakra Mudra, the gesture was exhibited by Lord Buddha while he preached the first sermon to the companion after his enlightenment in the deer park of Saranath. Vitarka Mudra signifies the teaching phase of preaching in Buddhism. The circle formed by the thumb and index finger maintains the constant flow of energy are there as there is no beginning or end, only perfection. 10th question. Real structural temple was started in the place of rock cut temples under Rajasimha group. Rajasimha Varman led the third stage of temple development. Under him, development of real structural temples was started in the place of rock cut temples. Example, Shore Temple at Mahabalipuram, Kailasnatha Temple at Kanchipuram. 11th question. Consider the following statement about Marthanda Sun Temple. It is located in Anantnag, Kashmir. It is considered to be a synthesis of various schools of architecture. Their schools are Gandhara, Chinese, and Gupta influence on the monument. It was built in 8th century AD under the aegis of Karkota dynasty ruled Lalita Ditya Muktapira, while temples of Avantipura was built by the king Avantivarman, the first king of Utpala dynasty in 9th century AD. 12th question. Consider the following statement about Ramanuja. Ramanuja considers Brahma to possess central attributes. He considers loving the faith and practicing devotion as the path of attainment attain salvation, while Shankaracharya considered knowledge or gnana to be the main means of attaining salvation. He is famous as the chief proponents of Vishishtadvaita school of Vedanta. It is a non-dualism school of Vedanta philosophy. It is non-dualism of the qualified whole in a Brahman alone exists, but characterized by multiplicity. Question number 13. Consider the following statement about Uttar theory. They believed in the theory of Punarjanmam or rebirth. They also argued that a person would have to bear a burnt of their action from the previous birth in the next one. This philosophy would also allow people to argue that sometimes they suffer in their present birth because of the misdeeds of the past and the remedy is beyond their means except through the findings of one Brahmas. The Vedanta theory also gave credence to the theory of karma. Question number 14. Consider the following statement about Vedanta school of philosophy. Vedanta is made up of two words, Veda and Ant, that is, end of the Vedas. This school upholds the philosophies of life as elaborated in the Upanishads. The philosophy propounds that Brahma is the reality of life and everything else is unreal or Maya. Purva Mimamsa philosophy inherently legitimized the social distance between the various classes. This was used as the device by the Brahmins to maintain their clout over people and they continued to dominate the social hierarchy. The Atman or the consciousness of self is similar to the Brahman. This argument equalizes Atman and Brahman, and if a person attains the knowledge of the self, he would automatically understand Brahma and would achieve salvation. Question number 15. Consider the following statement about Visheshika school of philosophy. The Visheshika school believes in the physicality of the universe and is considered to be the realistic and objective philosophy that governs the universe. As this school has a very scientific approach, they also develop the atomic theory, that is, all material objects are made of atom. They explain the phenomenon of this universe by arguing that the atoms and the molecules combine to make matter, which is the basis for everything that can be physically touched or seen. Question number 16. Consider the following statement about Mohiniyattam. It is essentially a solo dance performance by women that was further developed by Vadivelu in 19th century and gained prominence under the rulers of Travancore in the present state of Kerala. The patronage of Swati Thirunal, or the Travancore ruler in 19th century, is notable. Question number 17. With reference to Samyaka school, consider the following statement. This school believed in dualism or Dvaitavada, that is, soul and the matter are separate entities. This concept is the basis of all real knowledge. This school has been famous for their scientific system of inquiry. The final philosophy argued that Prakrit and Purusha are the basis of reality and they are absolute and independent. Question number 18. Consider the following statement about Nagara style of architecture. From 5th century AD onwards, a distinct style of temple architecture developed in the northern part of India known as the Nagara style of architecture. Even in the Nagara school, different sub-schools emerged in western, central and eastern parts of the country. The temples generally followed the Panchayatna style of the temple making, which consisted of subsidiary shrine laid out in a crucified ground plan with respect to the principal shrine. Unlike Nagara temples, the Dravidian temples were surrounded by high boundary wall. The temples are generally built on upraised platforms. Question number 19. Consider the following statement about Maru Gurjara style of architecture. In the northwestern part of India, including Gujarat and Rajasthan. This school developed under the patronage of Solanki rulers. The Garbhagriha is connected with the mandapa but internally as well as externally. The porticos have decorative arched gateways known as torans. The temple walls were devoid of any carvings. Question number 20. Consider the following statement with respect to Odisha School of Architecture. The exterior walls were lavishly decorated with intricate carvings, but interior walls were plain. There was no use of pillars in the porch. Iron grids were used instead to support the roof. The shikaras in the Odisha school were known as Rekha duels. They were almost vertical roofs which suddenly carved inward sharply. Question number 21. Consider the following statement about Greek and Roman art. There existed some difference between Greek and Roman style, and Gandhara school integrates both the style. The idealistic style of the Greeks is reflected in the muscular depiction of God and other men, showing strength and beauty. Lots of Greek mythological figures from the Greek Parthenon have been sculptured using marbles. Thus, statements okay. On the other hand, Romans used art of ornamentation and decoration and is realistic in nature as opposed to Greek idealism. The Roman art projects realism and depicts real people and major historical events. The Romans used concrete in their sculpture. Question number 22. Consider the following statement about Mathura School of Art. The sculpture of Mathura School were made using spotted red sandstone. Uh, the sculptures of Mathura school were influenced by all the three religions Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. The school was patronized by Kushana ruler. Consider the following statement regarding Gandhara School of Art. The Gandhara School of Art developed in the western frontiers of the Punjab near modern day Peshawar and Afghanistan. The Greek invaders brought with them the tradition of the Greek and Roman sculpture which influenced the local tradition of the region. Thus, Gandhara school also came to be known as Greco-Indian School of Art. The Gandhara school flourished in two stages in the period from 50 BC to 500 AD. While the former school was known for its use of bluish grey sandstone, and later school used mud and stucco for making sculpture. Question number 24. Buddha is known in delighted mood with a smiling face. The body symbolizes muscularity wearing tight dress. The feature of which of the following school has been discussed above? Answer is Mathura School of Art. Buddha is shown in delighted mood with smiling face. The body symbolizes muscularity wearing tight dress. The face and the head are shaven. Question number 25. Consider the following statement with respect to Amaravati School of Art. In the southern part of India, the Amaravati school developed on the bank of Krishna river under the patronage of Shatavahana rulers. While the other two schools focused on single images, Amaravati school put more emphasis on the use of dynamic images or narrative art. The sculpture of this school made excessive use of Tribhanga posture, that is, body with three bends. Question number 26. Consider the following statement with respect to Purva Mimamsa. They argued that salvation is possible through performing rituals, but it is also necessary to understand the justification and reasoning behind Vedic rituals. It is necessary to understand this reasoning if one wanted to perform the rituals perfectly, which will allow them to attain salvation. The main focus of this philosophy was on the ritualistic part of the Vedas, that is, to achieve salvation, one has to perform the Vedic rituals. The oldest text that performed the basis of Uttarmimamsa philosophy was Brahma Sutra of Badarayana that was written and compiled in 2nd century BCE. Question number 27. Consider the following statements about Nyaya school of philosophy. As the name of the school suggests, they believed in the technique of logical thinking to achieve salvation. They considered the life, death, and salvation to be like mysteries that can be solved through logical and analytical thinking. Furthermore, they argued that acquiring real knowledge can only assure salvation. On the concept of God, they argued that the creation of the universe was through God's hand. They also believe that God not only created the universe but also sustained and destroyed it. Question number 28. Consider the following statement with respect to Dravidian style of architecture. Under the patronage of Chola rulers, hundreds of temples were built in South India. It was the continuation of the previous Pallava architecture with some variations. That is what came to be known as the Dravidian style of temple architecture. The assembly hall was connected with the Garbhagriha by a vestibular tunnel known as Antarala. The presence of water tank inside the temple inside the temple enclosure was a unique feature of the Dravidian style. Question number 29. Consider the following statement regarding Rajput style of painting. They introduced the concept of hanging balcony which were constructed in all shapes and sizes. The chronicles were built in the shape of an arc such that the shadow took the shape of a bow. Thus, the Rajput constructions of the period were also influenced by the Mughal style but were unique in the size and scope of their construction. Question number 30. Consider the following statement about dancing girl. The dancing girl is the world's oldest bronze sculpture found in Mohenjo-daro. This 4-inch figure depicts the naked girl wearing only ornaments which include bangles in the left arm and amulet and bracelet in the right arm. She stands in a Tribhanga dancing posture with the right hand on her hip. Question number 31. Consider the following about the Indus Valley civilization. Archaeologists have found numerous seals of different shapes and sizes all across the excavation sites. While most seals are square, it was found that triangular, rectangular, and circular seals were also used. Statate is a soft stone found in the river beds was although the most common material used to make seals, yet agate, charred copper, faience and terracotta seals have also been found. Some instances of copper and gold and ivory seals have also been found. Question number 32. Consider the following statement about Pashupati seal. A stated seal depicts a human figurine or a deity sitting crossed-legged. The figure referred to as Pashupati wears a three-horned headgear and is surrounded by animals. An elephant and a tiger are there on the left side of the figure, while a rhinoceros and buffalo are seen on the right side. Two antelopes are also below the seat of the figure. It was discovered in Mohenjo-daro. Question number 33. Consider the following statement about stupa art. Stupas were burial mounds prevalent in India from the Vedic period. It is conventional representation of the funeral columns in which relics and ashes of the dead were kept. The core of the stupa was made of unburnt brick while the outer surface was made using burnt brick, which were then covered with a thick layer of plaster. Sanchi Stupa in Madhya Pradesh is the most famous of the Ashokan Stupa. Pipra, Pip- Piparva Stupa in Uttar Pradesh is the oldest one. Question number 34. Consider the following statement about palaces of Mauryan period. The Mauryan Empire was the first powerful empire to come to power in India. The capital at Pataliputra and the Consider the following statement about the palaces of period. The Mauryan Empire was the first powerful empire to come to power in India. The capital at Pataliputra and the palaces at Kumrahar were created to reflect the splendor of the Mauryan Empire. The palace of Chandragupta Maurya was inspired by the Achaemenid Palace at Persepolis in Iran. Megasthenes described the palace as one of the greatest creation of mankind. Wood was the principal building material. Question number 35. Which of the following animal is not a part of Sarnath pillar? The abacus and the animal part of the Sarnath pillar forms the official national emblem of India. In the abacus of the Sarnath pillar, four animals are shown representing four directions. The galloping horse to west, a bull to east, an elephant to south, the lion north. The animals seem to follow each other, turning the wheel of existence till eternity. Tiger is not the part of Sarnath pillar. Question number 36. Consider the following statement about national emblem of India. In the national emblem of India, the word Satyameva Jayate from Munduk Upanishad, meaning truth alone triumphs. It is written in Devanagari script. The capital is crowned by the wheel of the law, Dharma Chakra. Question number 37. Consider the following statement regarding Indus civilization pottery. The potteries found at the excavation site can be broadly classified into two kinds, plain pottery and painted pottery. The painted pottery is also known as red and black pottery as it used red color to paint the background and glossy black paint was used to draw design and figures on the red background. Northern black polished ware developed beginning around 700 BCE in the late Vedic period and peaked from 500 to 300 BCE, coinciding with the emergence of 16 great states or Mahajanapadas in North India and the subsequent rise of Mauryan Empire. Question number 38. Consider the following statement regarding the pillars during Mauryan period. During the time of Ashoka, the inscription of pillars as a symbol of the state or to commemorate battle victories assumed a great significance. On an average 40 feet high, the pillars were usually made of Chanur sandstone and comprised of four parts. A long shaft formed the base and was made up of a single piece of stone or monolith. On the top of it lay the capital, which were either lotus shaped or bell shaped. The bell shaped capital were influenced by the Iranian pillars, as was the highly polished and lustrous finish of the pillars. Above the capital, there was a circular or rectangular base known as the abacus, on which the animal figurine was placed. Question number 39. Consider the following statement about Yaksha and Yakshini. Two of the famous sculptures of the Mauryan period are those of Yaksha and Yakshini. They were object of worship related to all three religions, Jainism, Hinduism and Buddhism. The earliest mention of Yaksha can be found in Shilapadikaram, a Tamil text. Dhirangunj Yakshi was found at Dhirangunj village at Patna. Question number 40. Which of the following architectures were built by Sher Shah? During his brief reign, Sher Shah built few monuments. He built the Kuhana Mosque of the Old Fort Mosque in Delhi. He built the famous Rothas Fort in Pakistan. Moti Masjid made by Shah Jahan. Question number 41. With reference to Sikh style of architecture, consider the following statement. Sikh style of architecture developed in the region of modern day Punjab. It was heavily influenced by the Mughal style of architecture. The use of the multiple chhatris or koich on the top of the construction, use of shallow cornices. Example, Sri Harmandir Sahib or Golden Temple. It was initiated in 1585 and completed by Arjun Dev in 1604. Question number 42. Consider the following statement about Jaunpur School of Architecture. Patronized by Sharqi rulers, Jaunpur became the center of great art and cultural activity. This style of architecture also came to be known as Sharqi style. They also avoided the use of minars as a Pathan style. A unique feature of the building here is the use of bold and forceful characters painted on huge screen in the center and side base of the prayer hall. Question number 43. Consider the following statement about Pithora painting. The painting was done by some tribal communities of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh and is said to serve religious and spiritual purpose. They are painted in the walls of the houses to bring peace and prosperity. They are drawn on special family occasion as a ritual. Depiction of animals are common, especially horses. Question number 44. Consider the following statement about Indo-Islamic architecture. The Indo-Islamic architecture avoided the use of human and animal figurine. With the previous structure used sculpture as means of decoration. The Indo-Islamic architecture used calligraphy as a means of decoration. Question number 45. Consider the following statement about Indian puppetry. In the Bhagavata, God has been described as a puppeteer, controlling the universe with the three string, Sat Rajathama. Similarly, in the Indian theatre, the narrator was called Sutradhara or the holder of strings. The traditional string puppets of Rajasthan were known as Katputli, which derives its name from Khat meaning wood and Putli meaning doll. Question number 46. Consider the following statement about Katputli. The traditional string puppets of Rajasthan were known as Katputli, which derives its name from Khat meaning wood and Putli meaning doll. The puppets are covered in traditionally bright Rajasthani dress. The show is accompanied by the dramatic folk music. A unique feature of the puppets is the absence of legs. The strings are attached to the finger of the puppeteer. Question number 47. With reference to Yam Puri, consider the following statement. It is traditional wrought puppet of Bihar. The puppets are generally made of wood and are without any joints. They are carved out of a single piece of wood and painted and dressed in bright colors. With reference to Gombeyata, consider the following statement. This is a traditional theatre of Karnataka. It has influence of Yakshagana theatres of Karnataka. Usually the presence of more than one puppeteer is there to manipulate each puppet. Consider the following statement about Putul Nach. Putul Nach is a traditional rod puppet dance of Bengal, Odisha, Assam region. The performance is accompanied by the musical troops of 3 to 4 musicians playing harmonium, cymbals, and tabla. With reference to Madhubani painting, consider the following statements. Since there is a no shading, the painting are two-dimensional. Some of the common features of these paintings include double line border, bold use of colors, ornate floral patterns, exaggerated facial figures. Since the art has remained confined to the specific geographical area, it has been given GI status. 51. Consider the following statement about Patachitra. The traditional painting of Odisha, the name Patachitra comes from the Sanskrit word pat, which means canvas, cloth, and chitra meaning picture. The painting shows the mix of classical and folk elements with the bias towards the latter. The base of the painting is treated cloth while the colors used comes from natural source including burnt coconut shell, hingula, ramaraja and lamp-black. Which of the question number 52? Which of the following paintings have its main center in Srikalahasti? The main center for Kalamkari art are Srikalahasti and Machilipatnam in the state of Andhra Pradesh. The artist is former creator beautiful wall hangings. Question number 53. Which temple finds mention in the classical Sanskrit text Rajatarangini? Answer Mamleshwara Shiva temple is located in Pahalgam and was built around 400 AD. Question number 54. Beads are made from cornelian, amethyst, quartz, stated were found in. Answer is Chahudaro. Beads made from cornelian, amethyst, quartz and stated etc. were quite popular and produced on large scale as an evident from the factories discovered in Chahudaro and Lothal. Question number 55. Consider the following. Diwan-i-Alam meaning Hall of Public Audience by Shah Jahan. Diwan-i-Khas meaning Hall of Private Audience by Shah Jahan. Ibadat Khana. Akbar used to meet the leaders of different religion here to have discussion. Pachisi Court is the courtyard where Akbar is said to have played chess. Hiran Minar is built in the memory of Akbar's favorite elephant named Hiran. It also served as lighthouse for travelers. Question number 56. With reference to Bommalatam, consider the following statement. Bommalatam is the puppetry indigenous to the region of Tamil Nadu. It combines feature of rod and string puppetry. The strings are attached to an iron ring which is worn by the puppetry on his head. The Bommalatam puppets are the largest and heaviest marionettes found in India, with some of them as large as 4.5 feet in height and 10 kg in weight. The Bommalatam theatre has 4 distinct stages: Vinayak Puja, Komali, Amanatam, Pushenkanatam. Question number 57. String puppets of Odisha is known as Kundehi. Bommayata is a traditional puppet show of Karnataka. The string puppets of Odisha are called as Kundehi. Bommalatam is the puppetry indigenous of the region of Tamil Nadu. It is a traditional glow puppet. Povakuthu is the traditional glow puppet show in Kerala. Show of Kerala. Question number 58. Which of the following paint resembles to the mural paintings of Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh? Answer is Varli painting. These paintings have close resemble to the mural paintings of Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh that date back to the prehistoric period. Question number 59. Bizad was an artist during the reign of answer is Babur. Babur established the Mughal dynasty after fighting a series of wars. He did not have much time to commission painting, but he is said to have patronized the Persian artist called Bizad, who made some illustrations of the Mughal family tree. Question number 60. Which of the following is the folk dance of Uttar Pradesh? Answer is Ras Leela and Dadra. Chambar is the popular folk dance of Himachal Pradesh. Barj Ras Leela is the popular folk dance of the region of Uttar Pradesh, revolving around the adolescent love stories of Radha and Krishna. Dadra is the semi-classical form of dance popular in Uttar Pradesh, accompanied by the music of the same style. Jawara is the harvest dance popular in Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh. The dance, which includes balancing the basket full of jawar on the head, is accompanied by the heavy instrumental music. Question number 61. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched? Answer Bihu Assam. Kalbelia is performed by the women of Rajasthan. In 2011, it was added to UNESCO list of intangible heritage items. Kathakali is the most popular dance from Kerala. The word translates the story play. It is popular for its makeup and costume. Jat Jathin dance is the most popular folk dance of North Bihar, namely in Mithila and Kosi region. Bihu is the popular dance of Assam, performed in group by both men and women. The dancers are dressed in colorful traditional dresses to celebrate the pop and gaiety. The dance performance includes group formation, rapid hand movements, and brisk footsteps. Question number 62. Megasthenes visited India during the reign of Chandragupta Maurya. Megasthenes visited India during the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, but when he came to India or how long he stayed in the country is uncertain. Megasthenes visited the Mauryan capital Patliputra. Question number 63. Consider the following about Bundi school of painting. In Bundi school, painting of local vegetation were in detail. Human faces were round with pointed nose in the painting. Color of sky is painted in different colors and mostly a red ribbon is visible in the sky. Question number 64. With respect to Ajanta cave painting, consider the following statement. The walls of the caves have both murals and fresco painting. They use tempera style, that is use of pigments. The painting portrays human face and social fabric along with styles, costume and ornaments of that period. The unique feature of the painting is that each female figure has a unique hairstyle. Even animals and birds are shown with emotion. The common theme of this painting range from Jataka stories to life of Buddhas to elaborate decorative pattern of flora and fauna. Question number 65. Consider the following statement about Bhag cave painting. Bhag caves in the Madhya Pradesh is in Madhya Pradesh, representing an extension to the Ajanta school with their exquisite work rank quite close to the actual Ajanta caves in terms of their design, execution and decoration. The main difference is that the figures are more tightly modeled, have stronger outline and are more earthly and human. Although scanty and decayed now, these paintings depict religious themes in the light of contemporary lifestyle of people, thus are more secular in nature. Question number 66. With reference to painting during the reign of Jahangir, consider the following statement. The Mughal painting reached its zenith in the period of Jahangir. He was the naturalist by nature and preferred the painting of flora and fauna, that is, birds, animals, trees, and flowers. He emphasized on bringing naturalism to portrait painting. Famous painters of the period include Daswant, Baswan, and Kesu. One of the most famous artists from his period was Ustad Mansoor, who was the expert in drawing the features of the most complex faces. Question number 67. Consider the following statements with respect to Paika dance. Paika is the martial folk dance performed in the southern parts of Odisha. Paika is the form of long cheer. The dancers are armed with a wooden spear and shield and show off their skill and agility in infantry like formations. It is a martial art character. The word Paika signifies battle. Question number 68. Which of the following folk dance of Rajasthan? Answer is Bhavai and Ghumar. Bhavai is one of the traditional folk dance of Rajasthan. This is very difficult form of dance and can only be performed by skilled artists. This dance basically loves women dancers balancing 8 to 9 pitches on their head and dance simultaneously. Ghumar is a traditional folk dance performed by the women of the Bhil tribe in Rajasthan. It is characterized by the pirouetting movements of the woman, which brings into prominence the multicolored vibrance of the following ghagra. Ghagra. Fudgi. It is performed in the Konkan region of Goa during festival by women. They stand in varied formation, mostly in circles or rows. It has many subtypes according to local customs. Dhalkai, mostly performed during the festival of Dussehra in Odisha. It is performed by the tribes and many musical instruments are used. Events from Ramayana and Mahabharata, stories of Lord Krishna, etc. are represented. Question number 69. Consider the following statement with respect to Kuchipudi. Originally performed by group of actors going from village to village, known as Kuselavas. Kuchipudi is the name of the village in the Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh. It is about 35 km from Vijayawada. Kuchipudi derives its name from the from the Andhra village of Kuselvarapuri or Kuchelapuram. In 17th century, Siddhendra Yogi formalized and systemized the tradition. He authored Bhama Kalapam and many other plays. Question number 70. Consider the following statement about Kathakali. The language used for Kathakali song is Mani Pravalam, that is, mixture of Malayalam and Sanskrit. Music is important for rightfully conveying the entire drama to the viewers. Different composition of music are used during performances to give depth to the drama. Kathakali music follows the traditional Sopana Sangeet of Kerala. Now, Kathakali music also uses Carnatic ragas and the raga and tala conforming to the bhava, rasa and dance pattern. The orchestra, which is also used in other traditional performing arts of Kerala. Question number 71. Consider the following statement regarding Thumri. It is based on mixed ragas and is commonly considered to be semi-classical Indian music. The composition are either romantic or devotional in nature. This was inspired by the Bhakti movement so much that the text usually revolves around the girl's love for Krishna. The language of the composition is usually Hindi or Awadhi dialect and the Braj Bhasha dialect. Question number 72. Consider the following statement about Kathak. It was influenced by Arabic costumes and styles of dancing. It is based on Hindustani style of music. Both the answer are correct. During the Mughal era, the dance from degenerated into lascivious style and branched off into court dance. It was also influenced by Persian costume and style of dancing. An important feature of Kathak is the development of different gharanas as it is based on Hindustani style of music. Question number 73. Consider the following statement regarding Bharatanatyam. The origin of this dance form can be traced back to Sadir, the solo dance performance of the temple dancers or Devdasis in Tamil Nadu. Hence, it was also referred to as Dashi, Dasiyattam. Question number 74. Consider the following statement with respect to Satriya dance. Satriya originated in Satra monastery as a part of Neo Vaishnavate movement started by Srimanta Shankaradeva in Assam in the 15th century. Question number 75. Consider the following statement with respect to Indica. Greek were interested in geography of India. The most republished part of Indica in India's location, dimensions and topography. Question number 76. With reference to Ibn Battuta account on Delhi, consider the following statement. There are 28 gates of this city which are called Darwaja. And of these, Buland Darwaza is the greatest. Inside the Mandvi Darwaza, there is a grain market. Adjacent to the Gul Darwaza, there is an orchard. Question number 77. Consider the following statement with respect to Al-Baruni. Al-Baruni's expertise in several languages allowed him to compare languages and translate text. He translated several Sanskrit works, including Patanjali's work on grammar, into Arabic. For his Brahmana friend, he translated the work of Euclid, a Greek mathematician, into Sanskrit. Question number 78. Consider the following statement. Only the first statement is incorrect. Some of the paintings are reported from the shelters where people lived, but some others were made in palace in places which do not seem to have been living space at all. Some of the most beautiful paintings are very high up on rock shelter or close on the ceiling of rock shelter. Question number 79. Consider the following statement with respect to art of Indus Valley civilization. The form of art found at various sites of the civilization includes sculptures, seal, pottery, jewelry, terracotta, figurine, etc. The artists of the time had fine artistic sensibilities and a vivid imagination. Their delineation of human and animal figurine was highly realistic in nature. Statues, whether in stone, bronze, or terracotta, found in Harappa sites are not abundant but refined. The stone statuaries found at Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are excellent examples of handling three-dimensional volumes. Question number 80. During Mauryan period, apart from stupas and viharas, stone pillars, rock-cut caves and monumental figure sculptures are carved at several places. The tradition of constructing pillars is very old, and it may be observed that erection of pillars was prevalent in the Achaemenian Empire as well. But the Mauryan pillars are different from the Achaemenian pillar. The Mauryan pillars are rock cut, thus displaying the carver's skill, whereas the Achaemenian pillars are constructed in a piece by a mason. Consider the following statement with respect to Ashokan pillar. Question number 81. Stone pillars were erected by Ashoka, which have been found in the North Indian part of the Mauryan Empire with inscriptions engraved on them. The top portion of the pillar was carved with the capital figures like the bull, lion, elephant. All the capital figures are vigorous and carved standing on the square or circular abacus. Abacus are decorated with stylish lotuses. Question number 82. Consider the following statements. Stupa, Vihara, and Chaitya are the part of the Buddhist and Jaina monastic complexes, but the largest number belong to the Buddhist region. One of the examples of the structures of stupa in the 3rd century BCE is at Bhairat in Rajasthan. The greatest stupa at Sanchi was built with bricks during the time of Ashoka, and later it was covered with sand and many new additions were made. Question number 83. Consider the following statement with respect to Mathura School of Art. It is the fact that the images of Vishnu and Shiva are represented by their ayudhas, weapons. They are bold. There is a boldness in carving the large images. The volume of the images is projected out of the picture plane, and the faces are round and smiling. Heaviness in the sculptural volume is reduced with relaxed flesh. The garments of the body are clearly visible and they cover the left shoulder. Question number 84. Consider the following statement. Historical narrative of Buddha's visit to Kapilavastu is carved in Sanchi Stupa, which also contains siege of Kushinagara. Buddha's visit to Kapilavastu, visit of Ashoka to Ramgrama Stupa. According to textual tradition, there are 24 Buddhas, but only the first one, Deepankar, and the last 6 are pictorially represented. Remaining Buddhas are represented symbolically. Question number 85. Which of the following is true about Gandhara school of art? In the Mathura school, halo around the head is profusely decorated. Mathura school Mathura school of art flourished in Kausambi and Sarnatha. Mathura art refers to the particular school of Buddhist art which centered on the city of Mathura in the central North India during the period of which Buddhism flourished in India. The art of Mathura is usually contrasted with the Greco-Buddhist art of Gandhara. Question number 86. Who among the following Chalukyan ruler patronized Badami caves? Answer is Mangalesha. Badami was the capital of early Chalukyan dynasty which ruled the region from 543 to 598 CE. With the decline of Vakataka rule, the Chalukyas established their power in the Deccan. The Chalukya king Mangalesha patronized the excavation of the Badami caves. He was the younger son of Chalukyan king Pulakeshi I and the brother of Kirtivarman I. The inscription in cave number 4 mentions the date 578 to 579 CE, describe the beauty of the cave and includes the dedication to the image of Vishnu. Question number 87. Consider the following statement. Though Chola paintings are seen in Narthamalai, the most important are those in Brihadeshwara temple. The paintings were executed on the walls of the narrow passage surrounding the shrine. 2 layers of painting were found when they were discovered. The upper layer was painted during the Nayaka period in the 16th century. Question number 88. The Dravida style of architecture flourished between Krishna River Basin, and Kanyakumari. Dravidian architecture is an architectural idiom in Hindu temple architecture that emerged in the southern part of the Indian subcontinent or South India, reaching its final form by the 16th century. Question number 89. Which of the following is the characteristic of Dravida style of architecture? Dravida style of architecture has pyramidal shaped central tower called Vimana in Dravida style. In this style, there is only one single shikara or Vimana deployed for Hindu temples in Tamil Nadu from 7th to 18th century, characterized by its pyramidal tower. Unlike the Nagaras temple, the Dravida temple is enclosed within the compound wall. The front wall has an entrance gate in its center, which is known as Gopura, consists of a square chambered sanctuary topped by the superstructure or tower Vimana, consisted of an attached pillared porch or hall, that is mandapa, which precedes the door leading to the nucleus cell. Question number 90. Which of the following statements are about tombs of Lodi dynasty? The Lodi dynasty was an Afghan dynasty that ruled the Delhi Sultanate from 1451 to 1526. It was the last dynasty of Delhi Sultanate and was founded by Bahul Khan Lodi, which is replaced the Shahid dynasty. The tomb of Lodi dynasty can be classified into two types. First one, octagonal shaped tomb built by the Sultan, rectangular shaped tombs built by the nobles of Sultan court. Question number 91. Which of the following was characteristic feature of the Indo-Islamic architecture? The representation of the living beings in Islam is prohibited. So, in the Indo-Islamic architecture was based on calligraphy and geometrical design. Indo-Islamic architecture is the architecture of the Indian subcontinent produced by and for Islamic patron and purpose. Despite an initial Arab presence in Sindh, the development of Indo-Islamic architecture began in earnest with the establishment of Delhi as the capital of the Ghurid dynasty in 1193 CE. Question number 92. Trebate or corbelled is in the medieval India referred to a style of adjoining horizontal and vertical beam of roof, doors and windows. Between the 7th and 10th century, architects started adding more rooms, doors and windows to building. Roofs, doors and windows were still made by placing the horizontal beam across two vertical columns, the style of architecture called turbate or corbelled. Between the 8th and 13th century, the turbate style was used for the construction of temple, mosque, tombs and building attached to large stepped wells. Question number 93. Consider the following statement regarding Kandariya Mahadev temple. The Kandariya Mahadev temple is dedicated to Shiva, was constructed in 999 by the king Dhangadeva of the Chandela dynasty. An ornamented gateway led to an entrance and the main hall, Mahamandapa, where dances were performed. The image of the chief deity was kept in the main shrine, that is Garbhagriha. This was the place for ritual worship where only the king and his immediate family and priests gathered. The Khajuraho complex contained royal temples where commoners were not allowed entry. The temples were decorated with elaborately carved sculpture. Question number 94. The 7th to 9th centuries saw the emergence of new religious movement in South India, led by the Nayanars, saint devoted to Shiva, and Alvars, saint devoted to Vishnu, who came from all castes, including those considered untouchables like the Puliyars and Panars. They were sharply critical of Buddhists and Jains and preached ardent love of Vishnu and Vishnu or Shiva as the path to salvation. They drew upon the ideals of love and heroism as found in the Sangam literature and blended them with the values of bhakti. The Nainars and Alvars went from place to place composing exquisite poems in praise of the deities enshrined in the village they visited and set them to music. Question number 95. Consider the following statement regarding Shankaracharya philosophy. Shankara, one of the most influential philosophers of India, was born in Kerala in the 8th century. He was an advocate of Advaita or the doctrine of oneness of the individual soul and the supreme God, which is the ultimate reality. He thought that Brahman, the only or the ultimate reality, was formless and without any attribute. He considered the world around us to be the illusion or Maya and preached renunciation of the world and adoption of the path of knowledge to understand the true nature of Brahman and attain salvation. Question number 96. Consider the following statement regarding Sufi assembly. The Sufi master held their assemblies in their khanqahs and hospices. Devotees are all of all description, including members of the royalty and nobility and ordinary people, flocked to these khanqahs. They discussed spiritual matters, sought the blessing of the saint in solving their worldly problems, or simply attended the music and dance session. Question number 97. Consider the following statement regarding the development of Bengali language. During the 4th century, the Gupta ruler established political control over North Bengal and began to settle Brahmanas in this area. Thus, the linguistic and cultural influence from the mid Ganga valley became stronger. In the 7th century, the Chinese traveler Xuanzang observed that languages related to Sanskrit were in use all over Bengal. In fact, by the 15th century, the Bengali group of dialect came to be united by a common literary language based on the spoken language of the western part of the region, now known as West Bengal. Thus, although Bengali is derived from Sanskrit, it passed through several stages of evolution. Also, a wide range of non-Sanskrit words derived from variety of sources including tribal language, Persian language and European language have become part of modern Bengali. Question number 98. Consider the following statement regarding the 14th century text Leela Tilakam. Cheras also drew upon Sanskrit tradition. The temple theatres. This is the first literary book in Malayalam which deals with the grammar and poetics. Cheras also drew upon Sanskrit tradition. The temple theatre of Kerala, which is traced to this period, borrowed stories from the Sanskrit epics. The first literary work in Malayalam dated to about the 12th century was directly indebted to Sanskrit. Interestingly enough, a 14th century text, the Leela Tilakam, dealing with grammar and poetics, was composed in Manipravalam literary diamonds and chorals, referring to the two languages, Sanskrit and the regional language. Question number 99. Consider the following statement regarding Sufism. The saints had much in common with the Sufis, so much so that it is believed that they adopted many ideas of each other. Sufis were Muslim mystics. They rejected outward religiosity and emphasized love and devotion to God and compassion towards all fellow human beings, like the saint poets. The Sufis too composed poems and expressing their feeling, and the rich literature in prose, including anecdotes and fables, developed around them. Among the great Sufis of Central Asia were Ghazali, Rumi, and Sadi. Like the Nathpanthis, Siddhas, and Yogis, the Sufis too believed that the heart can be trained to look at the world in a different way. They developed elaborate methods of training using zir, that is chanting the name or sacred formula, contemplation, sama or singing, rags dancing, discussion of parables and breath control, etc. Question number 100. Uh, what does the elephant depict in national emblem? Answer is the dream of Queen Maya. The elephant depicts the dream of Queen Maya, a white elephant entering her womb. The bull depicts the zodiac sign of Taurus, the month in which Buddha was born. The horse represents the horse Kantaka, which Buddha is said to have used for going away from princely life. The lion shows the attainment of enlightenment.